Yo.
Yo, I am in Pittsburgh. Adrian asked me where I was, and I go, Pittsburgh. It took me about 20 seconds to remember what city I was in.
That's not great. Such is life on the road.
Such is life, going and seeing your M team.
M Sports.
Did a little M Sport trip. But it was a fun one. We got the win. Hung out with apparently just the Oregon Duck. Can't call him Puddles anymore.
Yeah, I do not. I told you, I do not subscribe to that. He is still Puddles.
If there's anything that I could say is definitely like a bad movement, it's the shift from Puddles to Oregon Duck. It feels a little like, oh, okay.
Oh, it's also like very generic. Like the Duck. Really?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Why would you not name him Puddles? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
The Duck was bumping and grinding in my face the entire night. I posted that we were in love and we were probably getting married and I probably have a baby on the way. And the Duck that
part was new.
The Duck commented, "Who is Puddles?" And I was like, "Wow, I don't even know you anymore."
It's like we don't even know each other.
I'm a hot girl. I'm a hot girl. I get anything I want. This is my world. I make big moves in my big heels. Since the day that I was born, I've been a big deal. I'm a hot girl. I'm a hot girl. I get anything.
Welcome to Let Her Shoot, the only podcast that covers women's sports the way that we want them covered. By the way, I did go to a women's sports bar in Pittsburgh. I've got thoughts about that. We'll save that for the end of the show. No bullshit, no kid gloves. We'll see if we get there. Just respect for the athletes, respect for the fans, respect for the game, really. We're not holding back. We're going to say what we see, what we thought, just like Cheryl Reeve did after game 3. Sarah Chovnick, 2-time Emmy Award-winning producer. You can see her Emmy in the back if you're watching on YouTube. Trysta Krick, 0-time Emmy Award-winning talent. And speaking of YouTube, follow us and subscribe at the Daily Dub Sports, the Daily W Sports. Also, you can just search for Let Her Shoot, and our podcast will come up there as well. We would really appreciate it if you also subscribed on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you're getting your podcasts. And make sure to look out for our pod every Tuesday drop. What's
it's just the
W.
It's just the W. It's just 2 series really that we're talking about. Because that's all we've got left in the W right now. Well, we've actually only have 1 series still in motion. The other one is the Lynx are out. They're going back home. They're staying there. That was shocking. We're going to talk about all that. But we're just going to talk about the cinematic element that was the W this week, because there has been drama. There has been fights. There has been suspensions. There's been underdog. There's been underdog stories. The finals are halfway set. We know the Lynx won't be in it. We do know that the Mercury are going to the finals. And we're going to go in depth on the Lynx, on Cheryl Reeves, on the shots that she has fired towards the league.
It's just Reeve.
Reeve, sorry, you're right. You know what it is? I always think of Christopher Reeves, because
when it's R.I.P. Christopher Reeves.
Is he dead now?
I think so.
Anyway, I have a fun story about Christopher Reeves that I'm not going to tell right now. But anyway,
I knew it was something horsey. We don't need it. Let's stay on task today.
All right. You always tell me that you like the side stories, but then I try to go into a side story, and then
I'm not. Yep, he is dead, just like this storyline.
Just like the Lynx. The Lynx are dead in the water right now.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
Oh, but we have time for singing.
That's my little sad for the Lynx. Pour a little out for the Lynx. Man, your camera is doing crazy shit.
What is it doing?
Making green little, like, it's going...
Like, constantly?
I mean, it's happened. A couple times.
Okay.
A few times already. And it got like a little green flash. I don't know if Adrian saw that.
Yeah, it's doing that. I don't know why it's doing that. But let's talk about the Lynx. Green flash, not the Lynx. No green flash in the playoffs. Or no green flash in the finals. Fee, where do we even begin here? So game 4.
I think we have to go back to game 4.
Let's go, or game 3, you mean?
Yes, game 3.
Let's go back to game 3. Let's start where this all began. Really. Very end of game 3. AT gets a steal from Fee. Fee goes down hard. Cheryl Reeve storms the court. Absolutely motherfucking the refs up one side, down the other. Has to be carried off the court by T, which hilarious, by the way. Just like her Dijonay holding the towel up like a matador, which, did you see that?
I don't think that's what she was holding it up for, like a matador. She was
She's
holding it up. She like when a player gets injured, we hold up towels so that you don't see the injury. So it was like, nothing to see here, folks. Just a coach chasing after the referees to maybe put hands on them. And I knew right then, she's getting suspended. You cannot need to be restrained from charging the refs, regardless of what just happened. And we can get into the foul, but the main story really was Cheryl Reeve and her reaction to said foul, and really the reaction to the refereeing that has been happening all playoffs, but all season long, which is just some tomfoolery, some rinky-dink Minnie Mouse type shit. And you put in what they make, and you were way far off. It's way lower than what you wrote down.
Well, then it might be.
It's $180 per game is what these refs are making.
Okay, we're gonna go back to that in a second because that is a different topic. I want to stay with Cheryl for a minute. So she goes through this whole thing, right? But then there's more pieces to it. So as she's going off the court, she's yelling "fuck you" to the fans, the Mercury fans that are there, which is kind of wild. Like, you don't really expect a coach to be motherfucking fans on their way off the court. And then she sits down in the press room and she talks for 2 minutes, does not take a question, sits down, asks her own question to start the presser.
What was the question that she asked herself?
She says, she like sits down and she goes, "Who was it that wanted to talk about refs?" And then just immediately goes into it. We'll play the clip. It's only 2 minutes long. Let's just go ahead and watch it.
New on SportsCenter, Cheryl Reeve discusses that and a lot more.
We'll see.
Adrian, can you turn sound on?
Who was it that asked about officiating before the game? Was that you, Kendra? And we talked about how dangerous it can be. You're hearing it from the other series. You're hearing other coaches. You're hearing Becky talk about when you let the physicality happen, people get hurt. There's fights. And this is the look that our league wants for some reason. We were trying to play through it. We tried to make excuses. One of the best players in the league shot 0 free throws. 0. And she had 5 fouls. 0 free throws. Got her shoulder pulled out and finished the game with her leg being taken out and probably has a fracture.
She doesn't.
And so if this is what our league wants, okay. But I want to call for a change of leadership at the league level when it comes to officiating. It's bad for the game. The officiating crew that we had tonight, for the leadership to deem those 3 people semifinals playoff worthy is malpractice. I can take an L with the best of them. I don't think we should have to play through more than what they did. We got players and gets cracked, and there's no call, and all of them said it wasn't my call. I don't know. I didn't have that. I didn't see it that awful.
Okay. All right. So, first of all, there's 4 F-bombs in there.
4 F-bombs,
In
which
2
by
minutes
the way,
is-
ESPN was completely unprepared for it because they're just letting them fly on the live when they were playing it. And I was like,
That's a lot of F-bombs. This is the first time I heard the beeps was right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
To do 4 in 2 minutes is really on par with someone like me who doesn't have any damn sense. So that was impressive. Number 2, I thought that the thing that was the most surprising, shocking, was her to say 2 things. 1, this is the look that the league wants for some reason, which is an accusation of really a conspiracy.
For some reason. Damn.
Right? Damning. Number 2, and that's fine, but I'm calling for a change in leadership. And then then she paused for a second, and I thought to myself, is she calling for Kathy Englebert's job? And then she said, in terms of who's hiring these referees. And I'm like, okay, but I don't know who that is. So she's asking for institutional change, hands down. She's accusing the league of a conspiracy. And I knew whatever the fine they were going to fine her for the cuss words, you can increase that. But also I knew for sure, you charge the refs, you threaten to fight them, you need to be held back, you're cussing at the fans, and then you accuse the league of essentially malfeasance and a conspiracy. Oh, you're definitely suspended. I thought she was done for the rest of the series, and we found out that she was suspended for game 4.
She was.
Which essentially was the rest of the series.
Yeah, I mean, it was the rest of the series. She didn't come back. We won't see her again until next year. The thing is that, like you said, when she had that little pause after, I'm calling for whatever she said. I'm calling for
change of leadership.
A change of leadership. Long pause. At the officiating level. No, that's not what you meant. But Stephanie White and Becky Hammon have now co-signed her statements afterwards, saying, Becky said, let me open this up real quick. My thing is, Becky said, from what I heard, she did not tell a lie. She did not tell a lie.
Another coach who has a star player getting absolutely brutalized through the course of this playoff series. So yes, I get that. And then
Stephanie White, who has, half her team on the bench right now due to injuries, said, I think she made a lot of valid points. I think at some point there has to be some accountability. And these are the coaches that we've heard all year, right? That have been, Stephanie especially has really kind of been the vocal leader against the what the hell is going on with the WNBA officials. But after this happened, we started kind of digging in, not just us, but everyone started digging into this. And that's when we get to, let's talk about these inexperienced refs, because just how inexperienced are they? And it turns out they are, I mean, it's like they just took them out of a gym rec league.
G League coaches or G League referees that have reffed in 6 G League games. Their experience, they have it's like when I was trying to say I was like in media, but I had worked for my high school radio station. And so I put like all these years of service at the radio station, but it's like, no, you literally have never worked in this field at all.
Right.
It's like,
right.
yeah, you've reffed 6 G League games as a fill-in. Mm-hmm. You have never reffed in the NBA. You've reffed 34, whatever the other like league is that this other ref had reffed in. So, and on top of that, we're not really verifying your credentials. We're not verifying how good you are at doing the job. And I just feel like, in general, what we're seeing is what has been the rap on the WNBA for many years, which is like that they just don't handle themselves like this is a professional league.
Like, professionally, right?
They're
yeah, exactly.
not ready for this type of scrutiny. They are not ready for this type of eyeballs. We'll just call it whoever came in to the league and all of this explosion. Call it the rookies of the 2024
The rookie
class.
effect.
The rookies of the 2024 class came in, and you guys were wholly unprepared for us to be
Completely.
like, yo, you guys don't know what you're doing. Oh my God, you're hiring refs. You're paying them $100 a game. These people are allowing assaults to happen on the court. And you've got coaches, as a result, acting like this is just straight Eastern Europe. And they've got like knives in their pockets. And they're like, listen, I'll shank you. You know? And it's just like, this is not how professional sports in the United States are ran.
No. And when you look at the money note, we're going to come back to the money note, it's unsurprising that you have these types of refs that have zero experience in a playoff game because they're making, at the most, like maybe $500 a game.
They're
Who's
literally
gonna
having
do that?
to apply
Who is going to do that? Who?
They're literally applying for Medicaid. Like, because they're making like the $16,000 a year is below the poverty level.
Yeah, well, what it means is that you don't have any professional refs. You have part-time refs who do this to supplement their income of whatever else they do, you know, selling insurance or rec league, you know,
It's
coaching.
like,
but
hi, would you like to come in and get an auto policy? Wait, did I just see you get bodied by Cheryl Reeve? Would you like full coverage? Or
Would you like full
would you like to add a homeowner's policy to that?
I mean, I think the mascots probably make more than they do. I mean, it's absurd. You cannot have, because you're only as good as your officiating is, right? Like, you just can't have a league that's taken seriously if you have refs that don't take the game seriously. And now, that being said, do you think it was a foul or a no foul
Oh, I know it was a foul
on Fee?
on Alyssa Thomas.
That's what I'm sorry. That's what I meant. Like on that.
I know it was a foul because you cannot. It was a clean pick. You picked their pocket, but what you cannot do is run over someone to get the loose ball. That's where the foul is. It's a loose ball foul against Alyssa Thomas, and a pretty bad one, a pretty egregious one. I've watched the M Sports for a very long time. That is a very easy call to make. And on top of that, I think we're kind of to the place where we've been tippy-toeing around this subject, but Alyssa Thomas is fucking reckless. She is fucking reckless out there. And we've got other players on other teams that we'll talk about later that played 2 days ago as well for the Fever, who I believe are reckless. Aliyah elbows Boston, for example. But no one in this on this 4 teams is as reckless as Alyssa Thomas is. She's huge, she's strong, she's fast, and she's way too agile to be running folks over. So at a certain point, I feel like some accountability has to go to her because the rap has been on her, but because she's such a great passer and such a great teammate, and we all love the trash talk and her smiling, we don't say anything. But I honestly think she's like just way too physical of a player, period. And if you can get away with it and that's your strength because your shoulders are broken, why wouldn't you?
Don't talk about her shoulders.
Don't talk about her shoulders.
Don't thirst over her shoulders.
That's not thirsting. She just apparently doesn't want people to know that her labrum
I legitimately
were torn.
thought it was thirsting.
It was an ESPN headline. Alyssa Thomas doesn't want you talking about her shoulders. And you thought because they're so sexy that it's making DeWanna Bonner jealous. That's an insane insane comment. And as a real quick side road, I saw this crazy fucking Time magazine thing on Instagram about how cut arms are now like only for women, are like only for the wealthy. And it was just the most, anyway, cut arms are all the rage right now. Yeah, no, it was, I read the comments. Just do yourself a favor. Do not read it. But that goes in line with that Alyssa Thomas's shoulders are so rock hard, and she's so swole and cut up that she doesn't want anyone mentioning her shoulders anymore.
By the way, Nate Tibbett said,
yeah,
we haven't talked about the officiating all playoffs. Just play.
No shit. You haven't talked about the officiating all
it
playoffs.
Benefits you.
You guys are the bullies of the block. Satu. She's
I don't want you to get in trouble for that one.
Yeah, Satu. Somebody on the broadcast was like, Satu. It was, I think it was maybe Rebecca Lobo. I forget who it was. I was like, okay, this is getting crazy. Anyway, she's very physical. Alyssa Thomas is very physical. DeWanna Bonner can be quite physical. Kalia Copperfield. I mean, this is a bully ball team. So, but it was really all about Game 4 that showed everything. No Cheryl Reeve, no Nafisa Collier. She's on a scooter.
By the way, does not have a fractured leg.
She's not have a fractured leg. She was gonna get evaluated to see if she was gonna play for Game 5, which I did not think when you're on a scooter you're gonna be ready for Tuesday. But hey, nice optimism. And I just felt they looked stagnant. Offensively, even though they went up multiple double-digit leads that they got, they just didn't look good. The offense looked like it was stuck in the mud. You had the assistant coach, who I'm forgetting his name, which you're just going to have to forgive me. But he's been a head coach in this league. It's not like he doesn't have the pedigree. It's not like he's out here like a WNBA ref, just out here trying to do his very best with no experience. He's a good coach. But they just didn't have it, and they were running around the perimeter doing these little dribble handoffs, and against a very physical Phoenix Mercury team, you're not going to generate space that way at all. They weren't cutting without the basketball, which is what the Minnesota Lynx are known to do. And you gave up big leads. Like, the thing that nobody's saying is that the Lynx lost the dog in them. They lost that killer instinct. Something happened. They were pit bulls, and then they turned into golden retrievers. Because you can't give up multiple double-digit leads. They were up 20 points in Game 2 and just fucking melted. You're up 13 points in Game 4, and you melted. Gave that lead up, got the lead back, and you melted. You cannot allow teams to come back on you. They did it to Golden State in Game 2 as well. And they ended up losing 3 in a row. So it's just, they had not had more than 2 consecutive losses in a row. And here's a fun stat, not to unload the clip. This is the first game that they lost in which they were up 16 at halftime. They were 61-0 before that.
That's insane. Being up at halftime.
No, being up 16 points at halftime.
Oh, being up that much at halftime.
Yes. Eric Tibble. That was his name.
They only had 5 points off the bench last night.
How about their fourth quarter? 13 fucking points.
13 points in the fourth quarter. You just can't do that in a Game 4 away on the road without your star player, without your coach. You had, I mean, Kayla McBride was getting on a heater there at the, like, you know, in the second half of the game. But for the first half of the game, I think Jess Shepard was their leading scorer.
Just uncalled for. And you want to say, okay, it could be anybody. It could be Kayla McBride. It could be Jess Shepard. It could be Bridget Carlton. It could be Courtney Williams. It could be T. Heidemann. But no, what you need is to have some flow. And it was very obvious that they didn't have the flow. And Courtney Williams started out extremely cold. And T. Heidemann, it was just a bad matchup for her, pretty much.
Yeah, she had 3 points the whole game.
She was getting cooked.
0 steals.
Just the series in general was a bad series for her. And all of that to say, you had that game, and you could have forced it to go back to game 5 in a place where you almost never lose. I think that was the 3rd loss of the season that they lost to the Mercury in game 2. And you just fucking blew it. You just blew it. You gave DeWanna Bonner way too much space. She's shooting from the logo, which we'll go into DeWanna Bonner in a bit. But I feel like Nafisa has to be back. Kayla McBride has to be back.
Like coming back.
That's pretty much it for me. I don't think anybody else
Not
is
Courtney?
not she's been fine, but they need a point guard. She can maybe be a 2 for them, but this is just not, she's not a lead distributor. She's gotten much better as a point guard, and I really like Courtney. As you know, I think she's a bucket. I think no one can guard her. I think she's excellent. But she's not a true point guard, and she knows that. She has said that. Retirement should not be overcomplicated. You should feel like the advice that you're getting fits your life, not someone else's agenda. That is straight talk and a solid strategy, and that's what you get from Fuchs Financial, our guy. Watch Ben's show, How to Retire, on his YouTube page, which we link in the show notes. Thank you to Ben. Seriously, thank you to Ben for believing in what we're doing over here. Our first sponsor, our most important sponsor to date, and we're always going to keep it solid. So go over there and check Ben out.
I think it's a real bummer that the Lynx went out this way. Like, I think when I really thought about it last night, you know, there's those moments where Goliath gets toppled and you feel like really good about it, you know, when Vanderbilt rushed the field after beating Alabama last year. Like, you're like, you know what? I'm happy for them. But in this instance, Goliath going down felt like you just kind of felt bad watching it, you know?
You've got Dejanay and Nafisa Collier and scooters. You've got Cheryl Reeve back in the hotel watching the game on TV, probably losing her goddamn mind. It's just, this is the most dominant team throughout the season. If they were going to go down, you'd hope that they go down in a fight in the finals and not get eliminated early. But I will give, and by the way, Kayla McBride was brilliant. 31 points, 6 for 11 from 3. Pretty much the only offense that they had in the second half.
Yeah.
And she
definitely
was doing the Lord's work. She was just getting, she was getting double team, triple team, and just shooting from the logo and splashing. So, but again, I'm going to say something that it's going to sound a little controversial.
Shocking.
If Sandy Brondello can be fired, Cheryl Reeve can be fired too.
You know, I was thinking that. Not that I think Cheryl should be fired, but I was wondering how deep this league backlash will go. You know, if she's calling for changes at the top, vocally, out loud, on ESPN, with 4 F-bombs.
Yeah.
I mean...
And it's been longer since she's won anything. And again, the way that this team looked at the end of the season, they were clearly not peaking at the right time. So if the injuries didn't matter in the case of Sandy Brondello, then I don't think that they're going to matter in the case of Cheryl Reeve and the number 1 overall seed, giving up huge leads to a team like Phoenix. I don't care what the circumstances were around the physicality. She's on the hot seat. She should. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen.
Well, you remember, Fee also sat for a month in the middle of the season, so it's not as if that they've not worked through...
Not a month. It was 7 games.
Okay, a couple weeks in the middle of the season. So it's not as if they have not worked through...
End of the season.
Rotations, worked through rotations without Fee. Like, they've had to win games without Fee before. This was not a sudden surprise, right?
Someone said, so, turns out that the Lynx can't win games
Right? I did say that they could, and that's why Asia should be MVP, but it turns out no.
It's going to be fascinating to see. Congratulations to Phoenix. I think they're a super team, to be honest.
Yeah. DeWanna Bonner, like we were talking about, that addition of DeWanna Bonner, Sachu's really been having a good run through the final or through the playoffs so far. She has that dog in her. You want to talk about having that dog in you. But DeWanna Bonner, you pointed out yesterday that she is kind of the missing piece for this Mercury team that has made them go on this run.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily that I believe she was the missing piece. But
okay.
What I would say is the way that they acquired her was absolutely garbage and would never be allowed in the men's game ever. It would be like if Kevin Durant got to leave Phoenix and go to the Golden State Warriors or to some other contender for free. The Fever just, when she said, I'm going to be gone indefinitely, I don't want to be here anymore. And she's making the max you can make as a player in the twilight of her career. They just let her go. And she just got to decide wherever she wanted to play. For very little money, Phoenix would never have been able to afford her otherwise. And so you talk about a player that hits 3 threes down the stretch of the game and is the reason that they made that run. Without her, they are not doing that. And Sammy Whitcomb was also good. She gets a little bit like the ancillary flowers as well because she hit some big shots. But while I was watching this, all I could think of is, you shouldn't even be on this team right now. And to be honest, with all of the injuries for the Fever and no Caitlin Clark, which is apparently the issue that she had, was didn't like playing with Caitlin Clark from a very trusted source that I had. There was no Caitlin Clark for most of the season. Everybody was going down like mosquitoes. The offense would have been built around you. So what the hell? Yeah.
And now, so is your beef more with the Fever for letting her go or DeWanna for leaving?
DeWanna can do anything she wants. If DeWanna is allowed to leave, then DeWanna has leave. My point is that you play hardball. You're not going
right.
Anywhere.
Get something for her.
I don't think they were going to get anything for a max player at the twilight of her career who was coming off the bench. But then guess what? You sign the contract. You're staying. I don't care. We're not playing nicey nice. This isn't the playground.
This isn't Friends Island.
Yeah, this is us trying to win a championship. And so we believe that you're still a fit here. You may not like it 9 games into the season, but guess what? Buck up, Buttercup, and enjoy Indiana. You better start figuring out some other things to do with your time. And guess what? Bide your time, and maybe you'll be starting again. And she would have been. She would have had so much usage. It would have just been her and Aliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell. They would have been really good. Could you imagine DeWanna Bonner as an additional shooting threat against this Aces team?
That. They need that.
Come on.
They need that. They need that because they've gotten here now, right? They have forced a Game 5, which...
So hard pivot. Let's go right into this Fever.
Yeah, let's
Aces
go right into
series.
Let's go right into this. They've forced a Game 5. And, by the way, fun fact that Adrian gave us yesterday, but the Fever are now 5-0 with Stephanie White wearing a red leather jacket. So clearly she's going to have to be pulling that out.
It's Catwoman.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
I did not gather that. Also, Catwoman wears black, not red.
Okay.
So the Fever force a Game 5 in... It did not look... Halfway through that game, I thought, this is over. They have absolutely run out of steam. Odyssey Sims couldn't get anything going.
Halfway through the last game?
Yeah. Or not really halfway through, but like a little bit through the first game. I mean...
The first game.
The first...
What are you saying? What happened was Asia started to make a lot of shots.
Yeah.
Started to make a lot of shots. It was going very much back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. But the thing that happened was, for whatever reason, every time Asia did Asia things, which credit to Becky Hammond, finding ways to get Asia space, and she got open. And you can tell that Asia likes to have the ball out kind of in the perimeter near the free throw line, in that area where she can sort of decide whether she wants to post up or whether she wants to go face up with Aliyah Boston, and then just try to cook Aliyah Boston with her quickness and agility and her footwork. And when Asia Wilson plays really poorly, it's because she's playing in a crowd. And so credit to Becky Hammond for making it easy for Asia Wilson to get buckets. And she came out pretty much doing that from minute 1. And then she went through a little bit of a lull. And then in the second half, she was doing it more and more and more. I think she scored 9 consecutive points for the Aces. But then it was Odyssey Sims hitting crazy shots. You had Aliyah Boston going to the free throw line a bajillion times. And it became one of those games, to me, I'm surprised you thought it was going to be something that got away from the Fever. Because
I did.
Because to me, it felt like all the Fever need to do is get the ball into the post to Aliyah, and she's going to draw fouls. That's just what she does. And that's just how they're calling it. And by the way, this is the same 3-man refereeing crew that Cheryl Reeve said, I will fucking put hands on you in game 3 in the Lynx Mercury series in Phoenix.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about them in a second, because Asia made some post-game comments about Aliyah Boston that I thought were interesting. But back to Aliyah Boston, we were talking about that physicality with Alyssa Thomas, and you brought up Aliyah Boston and her little wacky elbows sometimes.
She can get called for offensive fouls every time down.
Just because of her elbows.
No, she literally wraps her arms around Asia's body to try to box her out and to try to seal her so that she can get the ball in the post and then spin on her or do whatever it is that she's going to try to do. That's a foul. That I'm rooting for the Fever, sort of, because, I've got my Asia Wilson Finals MVP ticket, but I'm rooting emotionally for the Fever because it's just such a great comeback story. But that's a foul, Aaliyah. You're too good. You're too skilled. You're too big, and you're too much of a star to be doing that cheap shit all the time.
Did you see the photo of her? It's like one of those hang it in the Louvre type photos. She's on the ground, smirk on her face. Asia's turning back and looking at her just disgust. Just what are you doing? Get up. And you knew we both back and forth kept saying, well, there's a little bit of spiciness with this matchup, with this AB Asia matchup. There is no love lost with the South Carolina ties here. There's no Dawn Staley telling them to be nice.
I don't know if they dislike each other. I think it's a competitive fire thing. But I think if you're the other one, if you're Aaliyah, Asia's one of the most annoying players you've ever gone against. If you're Asia, Aaliyah's one of the most annoying players you've ever gone against.
Yeah.
And so, as a former player, if I put myself in that other person's shoes and think about the other one, and I'm like, oh yeah, I wouldn't be able to stand either one of them.
Yeah. But respect to them both. But
of course.
But obnoxious to play against, because it's just you're getting elbowed, you're getting pulled, you're getting pushed, you're getting all of it the whole game.
And honestly, I think Asia's slightly more annoying to play against than Aaliyah because of all the demonstrative shit.
She's so
demonstrative.
She's so in your face about it.
She did this thing with her head. I can't do it because I got a kink in my neck. But she went like this.
Because you're old.
She was like, ah. And she was like, kind of like very demonstrative. I don't know if you saw that moment. And I was like, if I was a Fever player right now, I would be so fucking pissed.
She's stomping, she's bowing up, she's, yelling in their faces. Which is amazing, and it's exactly what everyone should do in the sport. But because of that, I would have to imagine if you're Aliyah Boston, you're like, oh, fuck off. Yeah,
because it's kind of like it's one thing to be physical. It's another thing to dominate. And then it's another thing to like put it in your face. Like Asia really will put it in your face in a very Mamba mentality kind of a way, She's just, and that type of behavior, that type of physical like celebration, I think is probably one of the most annoying things you can do in sports to another competitor.
Yeah, it's my favorite. It's my favorite though.
Yeah.
I love it. It makes it so much more fun to watch. Did you see her comments though about Aliyah Boston after the game?
Yeah, do we have that?
Yeah, we do.
We don't foul. Yeah, we foul here and there, but that's very interesting.
Megan had 4.
What? Oh my God. That's interesting. That's what I was looking at. But we'll do better. We gotta play better defense.
By interesting, do you mean that shit?
Yeah. I can't say that because I got a brand to protect. But
say it, I have no brand.
Sam posted that clip with the gif, the like, be nice, I'm finding it. And you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I saw it. She also said she was looking at all the fouls from the rest of the team. And you had Nalissa have 5 fouls. Chelsea Gray had 5 fouls. Jackie Young had 5 fouls. And she was like, well, that's interesting. And Becky Hammond, I didn't see if you saw that, but she goes, by interesting, do you mean shit? And she goes, and she said, yeah, I do actually mean shit. But I'm not going to say that because it's bad for my brand.
My brand. Yeah, I got to protect my brand.
Got to protect the brand. And I thought that Aaliyah could have gone to the line 20 times yesterday.
You said that. Yeah, you said that. You were like, she could go.
In the first quarter, it was like, what's working? They're getting the ball to her in the post, and she's unstoppable. And they're going to have to foul her. Take out the elbows aside. They're going to have to foul her because she's too deep into the post. And she's going up, and it's going in. And they just couldn't stop her, really. And they tried their very best. But she was making life so difficult. And ones, spinning, frustrating Alyssa, frustrating Asia. And really, it was impossible for them to do anything else besides go to her. And that's why I thought if the Fever were going to lose that game, it was because they stopped going to Aaliyah as much. They started continuing to roll through Kelsey. And Kelsey played okay. She had 25, but she was 2 for 5 from 3. And so I thought a couple of times she was trying to shoot deep when really that's not the best game plan right now. You're seeing what's being successful. Same thing, like they kept going to Lexi Hull. Lexi Hull was 1 for 7 from 3, 2 for 12 from the field. She didn't have it that night. So it was like, okay, get the ball to Odyssey, get the ball to Kelsey into the paint, Aaliyah in the paint. Everybody needed to be operating in the paint because nobody had it from deep. So I guess you want to keep them honest. But I thought that the free throw disparity was really interesting. I thought that was something to look at. You had 34 free throws for the Fever and 11 free throws for the Aces.
Jeez. By the way, I just want to mention real quick before we move off the Fever, but did you see the whole Chloe Bibby thing?
Oh, yeah, I did.
You saw this. So for anyone who didn't see this, Chloe Bibby posted I don't know if it was like a AI
cartoon. It was a cartoon.
I don't know who drew it. I don't know where she got it. I don't know I don't know the origin of this, but she posts this cartoon image of herself, Sophie Cunningham, and Caitlin Clark standing at the center court line with a cop on the other side. It was the picture that went viral, right? It was them going face to face with a female black cop. In this picture that she posted, it was a male black cop. I'm not really sure why the gender change on that, but the more of the issue was that she posted this, which was a very racially charged image. She then immediately takes it down and issues an apology saying, I did not realize what the image said or did, or you know, I don't remember what her exact statement was, but it was like, I promise I'm not racist. It is like, you have to wonder though, with the optics of this team, like you just can't be making those types of mistakes. You know, with this.
Chloe, Bibby, do you have the internet? Do you have the internet? If you use the internet and you use social media, you know the allegations for the Fever.
Come on.
You know the allegations of the Fever fan base. You know the allegations of the Caitlin Clark fan base.
Mm-hmm.
You know the allegations of Sophie Cunningham.
And her fan base.
And her fan base. Which I don't know if it's true or not, but we know what people have said is what time she's on.
Optically. We'll just look at this optically. Yes.
Okay. So, you gotta be pretty fucking thick in the head to post that and not think anything of it.
And think that it's going to get received well. The original photo, the actual photo was not received well.
What are you doing? You know what I mean? What are you doing? And then you see it and you don't say to yourself, well, we weren't looking at a man cop, a black man cop.
No, why was it a man?
It was a black
Why did they
cop.
change it into a man?
And you have to know that there's gonna be some assumption that you're basically saying that white women are the ones being targeted by black cops.
By black cops.
Like what? Could you be more dumb?
Tone deaf. It's just
tone deaf.
Like
you deserve all the smoke. I don't think it's one of those things like where a kid would be like, I didn't know. It's like, what? That's the problem.
You're a grown-ass adult.
Chloe Bibby, that's the problem, is that you didn't even think about this. And I think you did think about it. But if you didn't, that's also pretty bad.
Like, if you looked at that and said, I see zero issue with posting this, then you're not keyed into what's going on your own team.
It'd be one thing if she just liked it. I'd be like, okay.
That's even a little bit.
That's also bad. That's also bad.
Also bad.
I agree. Very bad.
Unless the caption of it is like, can you believe how awful this is? Like.
Yeah.
You know?
She posts it to her own page. Girl, you're done. Girl, bye. Girl, bye.
Also, Chloe Bibby, I have to admit, I didn't realize who you were on the bench mob until about halfway through the season.
Yeah, you're not even a relevant piece to this puzzle in any way, which says a whole lot. I'm sorry. That was just a bad look. Just bad look upon bad look. And also, it's like, this is kind of the shit that probably DeWanna Bonner wanted nothing to do with.
Probably why DeWanna Bonner wanted to leave and go back.
Probably had something to do with it.
Probably had something to do with it. Let's go through, before we close, because we got to get you out of here, couple notes from across other non-WNBA sports, but Juju Watkins has officially announced that she is sitting for the entire season, which we saw coming, but not, kind of still sucks. Still sucks nonetheless to know that, like, we are for sure not going to see Juju play before next October.
Yeah, it stinks.
A whole year. Stinks. Washington Spirit clinched home field advantage for the playoffs. I don't really know if it's home field throughout the whole playoffs. We'll see. I mean, see how much the tickets are. I'd like to go.
You going to request some credentials?
I will request some credentials. That's actually a good idea. Gift Monday had a hat trick to seal the deal for them 4-0 in that game. And the rugby World Cup final happened. England defeated Canada 33-13 in front of almost 82,000 people.
I want to
82,000.
I want to go to a rugby match.
And I think, like, if you're going to go to a rugby match, like, England versus Canada is, like, the one to go to.
Is it?
Yeah, it's number 1 versus number 2. Like, they're the top 2 countries.
I thought Australia was higher ranked than Canada.
No, Canada and England are, like, the teams. And did you know that that Canada had to crowdfund to get themselves to the final? Like, they literally had to crowdfund because the country was not going to financially support them going.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, because they're women, so.
I also think I want to become friends with Ellie Kildun. She's an absolute beast.
Oh, she's a beast.
And I think it's a testament to how you don't need to know anything about a sport to be able to find the elite players. They just... Yeah,
you just
they
know.
will just... Your eyes will see them and know that they are the ones. And
they are elite.
She is the one. She's the one.
She is the one. We kind of lost our way on it, the conflict with WNBA, but from everything I saw, it was just a tournament that was exciting. It was physical. It was kind of expected outcome. I think England was the heavy favorite, but 82,000 people showed up, and I think that that's really what the goal of this tournament was. I mean, not the goal of the whole tournament. Obviously, the goal of the tournament was to get a winner of the best rugby player in the world, but rugby players in the world. But I think having 82,000 people there is such a great thing for a sport that has gotten little recognition on a national stage.
I love it. Before we close out, who is your WNBA Finals winner?
Mercury.
Wow. I hope not. I hope that's not the case. I've got the Aces, baby. Asia Wilson, Finals MVP.
It depends on which Aces show up. If it's game 2 Aces, then I think they win. If it's game 1 Aces,
yeah, the physicality of the Mercury is going to be a big time thing
Asia has
to
be hot. Asia has to be hot. Jackie has to be hot. And Chelsea Gray and Jewel have to contribute. And I think if all of those pieces are in line, then yes, I don't think they're beatable. If those pieces aren't.
Shout out to Jackie Young. One of the best jump
Jackie Young
shots.
has had a hell of entire playoffs so far. She had a hell of a season, but she has really been on night after night after night after night.
This was supposed to be a quick prediction, not a an additional segment.
Sorry.
So, great show. I am looking forward to today's game between the Fever and the Aces.
Yep.
I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. Obviously, I'm rooting for both teams for my own reasons. One's money, one's my heart. But either way, no, only one way I will be truly happy, and it's if the Aces win tonight.
You want the money.
No. If the Aces lose tonight, I will be despondent. Despondent.
Okay. So I will not talk to you tonight. Just FYI.
Yeah. Don't text me. And y'all in the chat, if the Aces do not go to the finals, send us some super chat money, because I'm gonna need every
Send us money. Send us money. Send us money regardless if the Aces don't make it.
Venmo me, Trysta, Krick. It's the one on the scooter.
I don't want to know why you're on a scooter in your Venmo. Anyway, all right. Give us our clothes.
3.
No.
That's all the time. That's all the time.
There we go. Thank you.
That's all the time that we've had for Let Her Shoot. Again, go to our YouTube. Subscribe. I don't know where the hype button is. Neither does anyone else.
Apparently we don't actually get it till we're at 1,000 subscribers. So everyone, if you have not subscribed,
just know the hype button is coming.
Get us to 1,000 subscribers. We need to get to 1,000. Help us get there.
Shout out to Sarah. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Adrian. We will see you next week, y'all. 1, 2, 3. Let her shoot.